Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। श्रील वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Antya Khanda, Chapter 6, Sri Nityananda Mahatmya Varnana. So the previous chapter was also the glories of Lord Nityananda. This chapter is also the glories of Lord Nityananda. It's continuation. So in the previous chapter, we saw how Mahaprabhu is in Navadvip and he delivered that Brahmana thief, and also by his performance of kirtans, uh, he was just oh no, we read about the followers of Nityananda Prabhu, how glorious the followers of Nityananda Prabhu are. How if these devotees glanced, right, one person would that person would get bhakti, would get love for Krishna, and also even by remembering the names of these people, one would cross over the ocean of material existence, like that. So then this next chapter continues with the glories of Nityananda Prabhu. Um, and then we saw once one devotee approached one Brahmana, approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he went to Jagannath Puri once. He used to be a student of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he saw Nityananda Prabhu, he had some questions about, he's supposed to be a sannyasi, why he dresses so opulently and he eats so opulently. He couldn't understand. But everyone says he's a great devotee. How, if he's a great devotee, why he doesn't follow what is said in the Vedas about sannyasis, how they should live? So he went to Jagannath Puri and he asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I have a question in my heart, and can you please, I've had this doubt in my heart for a long time. I want to hear from you. Can you tell with your graceful mouth? And then he expressed that Nityananda Prabhu is in the sannyas ashram and is at every moment chewing betel nuts. And he wears all types of ornaments made of gold, silver, pearls, which are all not to be touched by a sannyasi. He doesn't even wear saffron kopin, saffron cloth. He wears nice silk garments. He decorates himself with sandal paste and flower garlands. And he doesn't even carry a sannyasi's danda. Instead, he carries an iron rod. And also, he stays in a Shudra's home. Why does he do all this? These actions are not permitted by scriptures. So, this doubt has been in my heart for a long time. But everyone says Nityananda Prabhu is very exalted. Why then does he not follow the proper conduct of sannyas ashram? What is the reason for all this? If you accept me as your servant, then please tell me this. Like this Brahmana asked about Nityananda Prabhu. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, quoting Srimad Bhagavatam, that those who are very great devotees, exalted devotees, those who are great personalities, they cannot be touched by sins or by virtues. They are above sins and virtues, material faults and material virtues. To them, all material things are equal. Whether it is sin or whether it is virtue, it is all equal. They have already attained me. So like this. So Nityananda Prabhu, and just like the lotus leaf, even if it is in water, it is never touched by water. It never becomes wet. Like that, even if Nityananda Prabhu is apparently, touching material uh, opulence, which is actually an impurity for a sannyasi, he is never touched by material impurity. That you should know without doubt, my dear Brahmana, that Lord Krishna is always residing in Nityananda Prabhu's body. Then another thing is, one should not imitate such great personalities, right? If you are a conditioned soul yourself, seeing such exalted personalities, if you try to imitate them, what will happen to you? You will be destroyed. Just like Lord Shiva drank poison, an ocean of poison, if somebody tries to drink even a little bit of that poison, what to speak of drinking an ocean, what will happen to him? He will die. So, religious principles must be strictly followed by all conditioned souls, but at the same time, those who have transcended, those are very great personalities, exalted personalities, they cannot be touched by any abominable things. Just like fire also, another example. When fire touches something, it purifies that impurity, not that fire becomes contaminated. So, not understanding this, if a conditioned soul criticizes an exalted person, a very, very exalted person, what will happen to that conditioned soul? It is a great offense. So, for that offense, he will suffer birth after birth. Anyone who criticizes, makes fun of a great soul, he will perish, he will be destroyed. So, like this, Mahaprabhu explained to this Brahmana the truth about Nityananda Prabhu and all exalted Vaishnavas, quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam. And Mahaprabhu said, I know all this from Srimad Bhagavatam, and I have also heard it from the mouths of Vaishnava gurus, like this. Now listen to what Bhagavatam has to say about persons who mock the actions of great souls, great devotees. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to narrate this pastime of Krishna and Balaram. So both Krishna and Balaram went to Sandipani Muni for studies, and when their education was complete, they went to their guru and they said, what can we offer you as Guru Dakshina? The Guru, he asked his wife, Sandipani Muni consulted with his wife, what should we ask? And, because these disciples are not ordinary disciples. Sandipani Muni, of course, he could see. So when someone is, just for example, in a matter of 64 days, they mastered all 64 fields of education, all 64 kalas, arts, they mastered in 64 days. So, such exalted disciples, you should also ask something which is not possible for anyone else. So, he asked that, please bring my dead sons back. So, Krishna and Balram went to Yamaraj's abode and ordered Yamaraj, return the son of my Guru. Actually, in Caitanya Bhagavata, it is said sons. We understand it's one son from Bhagavatam, but I don't know. Here, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says sons. So, Krishna said to Yamaraj, bring the dead sons of my Guru back. And then, Yachkshuresha savita sakalagrahanam raja samasta murtirasesha teja yasyagya brahmati sambrita kala chakro govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So, this Surya is the leader of all the planets in the sky. That Surya is the eye of the Supreme Lord. He is the king, Raja Samasta, Sura Murti Rashesha Teja. He is the king of all the Suras, all the demigods. Who? Surya Dev. But that Surya Dev, Yasyagya Brahmati Sam, he travels, he goes around by the order of whom? By the order of Govinda. To that Govinda I am offering my obeisances. So, such Govinda Krishna went and ordered Yamaraj, bring my sons back, my Guru's sons back. And immediately they were, or the son of Sandipani Muni was brought back. So, when Devaki saw this, so after the studies, returning Yamaraj's, Sandipani Muni's sons, they finished their studies, so they went back home. When Devaki heard about this, Krishna went to Yamaraj's abode and brought the dead son of Sandipani Muni back. So she had a desire that my sons, 6 sons who were born before Krishna Balaram, they were killed the day that they were born by Kamsa. And it has been a while now, several years since they are dead. But if Krishna desires, he can bring back. She got a desire to get her, to see her dead son. So she asked Krishna that you had the power to bring back your Guru's sons. Please also bring my dead sons, 6 dead sons back to life. So when Krishna and Balaram heard this, they went to Bali Maharaja's abode. Okay, so this is in Bali Maharaj. So the dead sons of Devaki were in Bali Maharaj's abode. So then what happened there? When Bali Maharaj saw, Bali Maharaj is a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. We know Vamandev's pastime. How Atma Nivedam, he surrendered everything for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So when Bali Maharaj saw Krishna Balaram in his palace, he was plunged in an ocean of bliss. Then when Krishna asked for the dead sons, immediately he brought the 6 dead sons before the Lord's feet. And his eyes were filled with tears. And he started offering wonderful prayers like that. So what were the prayers offered by Bali Maharaj? Right? He said that all glory to Balaram, right? And all glory to Krishna. Balaram is the holder of plow. He is the teacher of the Gopas. He is friendship personified. And all glory to Krishna. He is the wealth, he is the life of his devotees. So it is very difficult even for those in the mode of pure goodness, like demigods, and it says pure goodness, so goodness, like pure material goodness. So even those in the modes of pure goodness, like demigods and sages, it's difficult even for them to see you. But you're so merciful to me, you have come to my abode. And I am not even somebody in the mode of goodness, I am a demon. I belong to the Daitya Jati. But you came in front of my eyes, how merciful you are. This is because you don't treat anyone as a friend or enemy. For you, everyone is equal, right? That's why you're showing yourself to me. With my own eyes, I'm able to see you. And then he went on to glorify. Putana was a witch who came to kill you. by smearing poison on her breast. And what did you do to her? You sent her to Vaikuntha. You gave her the position of your mother. So nobody can understand your greatness. Nobody can understand your heart. Not even the Vedas or those who have perfected in yoga can understand your heart. Then what to speak of the kings, yeah, the kings of yoga also cannot understand you. They are bewildered by Maya. Those who are bewildered by Maya, even though they are kings of yoga, they cannot understand you. So those who have perfected yoga, they cannot understand you. How can I understand you? I am after all a demon, a sinful demon. So please be merciful to me. And please don't make me fall into the blind well of household life. Like Prahlad Maharaj says, right? Household life is a blind well. But this is interesting because uh, uh, Krishna in um, household life is a blind well. This is said, we are reading about Maharaj Yayati in Srimad Bhagavatam. So there also this context comes. Maharaj Yayati, towards the end of, not when he was, actually he was still in youth, but when he realized the futility of life based on sense gratification, he begins to speak to his dear wife Devyani. His purpose was, she's my faithful wife, she has been serving, and she's a wonderful person. So it's also my responsibility to awaken Krishna consciousness in my wife. So with that intention, he begins to speak to Devyani. And there he says, this household life is like a blind, dark well. Why blind, dark well? Because what is a blind, dark well? It is an abandoned well. Nobody uses that well. And there is no water. The well is there, but there is no water. And wild grasses begin to grow inside. So the animals in the forest, being allured by the green grasses, they eating the grasses, they fall into this well, mistaking them to be grasses. They actually fall down. And once they fall down, nobody even knows that the animal is there. It is blind, it is dark, completely the animal is blinded inside, and it is fallen deep down. And also in such places there are snakes, so it's completely bewildered. And then it's like in desperation it gives up its body, it dies there. So this is the condition of someone in a blind dark well. He just has to die. So anyone who enters a household life, especially household life means here household life which is centered around sense gratification. Why does one enter into household life? He enters into household life thinking that it's going to be, very pleasurable. He will enjoy life. So with that intention one enters into household life, but actually is falling into a blind dark well which is only going to cause his death in great suffering. So like this, Maharaj Yayati explains to his wife Devyani. So anyway, that was just an additional side point because blind dark well came here. But so I'm still giving a recap of what we read in the last class. I didn't begin today's reading yet. So Bali Maharaj is offering prayers to Krishna Balaram like this. Please don't make me fall. Text 64. Please don't make me fall into the blind well of household life. I hold your lotus feet to my heart. Peaceful at heart, I fall down before you who are like a kalpavriksha tree. Please make me your servant. Please give me the association of your devotees. Yes, our saving grace is the association of the Lord's devotees. Please save me from this blind dark well of household life, and please give me the association of your devotees. Those are the only desires in my heart. Holding and Krishna and Balaram's feet to his heart, Bali Maharaj prayed in this way, assuming the form of the assuming the form of the Ganga, the water that has washed Krishna and Balaram's feet purifies Brahmaloka and Shivaloka. By drinking that sacred water and sprinkling it on their heads, Bali Maharaj and his associates became very fortunate. So, like this. And further on, offering fragrances, flowers, incense, lamps, garments, and ornaments, Bali Maharaj bowed down before Krishna and Balaram's lotus feet. Then Bali Maharaj said, O Lords, if in your hearts you accept me as your servant, then please give me a command I may carry on my head. O Lords, anyone who follows your command is beyond all ordinary commands or prohibitions. So, give me some personal instruction. Like sometimes disciples want a personal instruction from Guru. And then, like Srila Prabhupada didn't ask for it, he got that order at the very first meeting with his Guru, right? Preach this Krishna consciousness in the English speaking language all over the world. Srila Prabhupada got this was the first and last instruction. Last means while Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was on this planet, the first instruction that he gave to our Srila Prabhupada and the last instruction that he gave to Srila Prabhupada was preach this Lord Chaitanya's mission in the English-speaking language all over the world. So sometimes devotees want like that, some instruction, and then you take that as your life and soul, right? So here Bali Maharaj is asking Krishna Balaram, please command me, give me some command, order me something so that I can carry it on my head and I can give my life for that order, for that order. And then in front of that order, anyone else's order is secondary. First is your order. So when Bali Maharaj asked like this, what did Krishna and Balaram say? Hearing Bali Maharaj's words, the two lords became pleased. Then they described the reason they had come. Okay. The Lord said, listen, listen, O saintly Bali, to the reason we have come to your home. So as soon as he saw Krishna Balaram, all this happened. He was so happy, you have come here. And then, he fell down and he offered wonderful prayers. Then he washed the lotus feet of Krishna Balaram, sprinkled the Ganga water on his head and all his associates' heads. And then he put a nice fragrant flower garland, sandalwood paste. And then he said, order me, like that. So then the Lord said, okay, the reason that we came to you is, listen, listen, O saintly Bali, to the reason we have come to your house. The sinner Kamsa killed our mother's 6 sons. They died because of their past sins. Grieving her dead sons, our mother Devaki is very unhappy. She always weeps. Those 6 sons are now with you. Give them to please our mother. Yeah, they are with you. Please give those sons to us so that we can pacify our mother who's weeping for them. Those 6 sons were previously perfect demigods. They were grandsons of Lord Brahma. Please hear how they came to suffer. So now this is the history of the sons of Devaki, the 6 sons of Devaki. They were actually demigods and they were the grandsons of Lord Brahma. How did they become the sons of Devaki to be killed like this? Prajapati Marichi was the son of Brahma. These 6 sons were previously the sons of Marichi. By divine arrangement, Brahma became bewildered, struck by one of Kamadev's arrows. Throwing aside all shame, his heart yearned after his own daughter. Seeing that these 6 souls mocked Brahma, for this offense they fell down at once. Because they mocked a great soul. Coming back to that message that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu gave to that Brahmana. Because they mocked a great soul, they took birth from a demonic womb. Abandoning their demigod bodies, they took birth in the home of Hiranyakashipu, who hated the whole world. Tortured in many ways by Indra's thunderbolt, these 6 demons died. Okay, so they were born in the home of Hiranyakashipu and then they were killed by Indra. Then by the power of Yogamaya, they were brought down to earth and placed in Devaki's womb. Their sin was that they mocked Lord Brahma. For this they suffered in many ways. Even though Devaki was his sister, King Kamsa killed them as soon as they were born. Devaki does not know these secrets about her sons. Taking them from your place, we will give the 6 sons to Devaki. We will give these sons to Devaki. When they drank Devaki's breast milk, these 6 souls will at once be freed from the curse placed upon them. Then the Lord said, Listen, listen, O saintly Bali. Even a perfect demigod will suffer if he mocks a Vaishnava for his actions. How then can we describe how that offense will make an ordinary imperfect person suffer? An impious person who blasphemes a Vaishnava will suffer birth after birth. Listen, O Bali, and I will teach this to you. Never blaspheme or mock a Vaishnava. Yes. Even if you're a great devotee, you have to suffer. What to speak of if you're already an impious person? If you blaspheme a Vaishnava, you'll suffer birth after birth. If he blasphemes my devotee, even a person who worships me and chants my holy names will find many obstacles placed before him. But anyone who loves my devotee will attain me. This I say. It is true without any doubt. In the Varaha Purana it is said, Siddhir bhavati vaneti samshayochuta sevinam nihsamshayastu tadbhakta paricharyaratatmanam. They who serve the infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead may or may not attain perfection. There is some doubt, but they who devotedly serve the Supreme Lord's devotees will certainly attain perfection. Of that there is no doubt. This means that the Lord says, anyone who worships only me and does not worship my devotees also is proud and arrogant. He does not attain my mercy. In the Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya, it is said, Abhyarchayitva Govindam Tadiyan Archayanti ye Nate Vishnu Prasadasya Bhajanam Dambhika Janaha. Proud and arrogant persons who worship Lord Krishna but do not worship the Lord's devotees do not attain Lord Krishna's mercy. Yes, same. Those who worship Krishna but don't worship Krishna's devotees, they don't get Krishna's mercy. O Bali, you are my dear servant. That is why I tell this secret to you. Hearing the Supreme Lord's instructions, saintly Bali became very happy at heart. Placing Lord Krishna's order on his head, Bali brought the 6 sons before him. Krishna and Balaram at once took the 6 sons and brought them to their mother. Seeing her previously dead infant sons with a joyful heart and with great love, Devaki at once offered them her breast. Drinking from the breast that had once suckled the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sons at once attained transcendental knowledge. They all offered Dandavat obeisances to the Lord. Then the Lord glanced at them. So we will continue tomorrow. Yes, Prabhuji. Nrsimhananda Prabhu. Nrsimha Praladeshwar Prabhu.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
This is Brahmaji was attracted to Saraswati,
Right.
isn't it?
Yes.
Saraswati was his daughter or wife?
First, she was the daughter, and then later on, next Kalpa, she became his wife.
So,
Now,
daughter becomes
no,
wife.
daughter does not become wife, but when she was born, the first, when this episode comes in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Lord Brahma is creating Saraswati. So Lord Brahma creates, right? At the beginning of every kalpa, he creates. So when he actually gave up that body. So she's not his daughter anymore now. So when the first time when he created, and by the effect of Maya, he became attracted to his own daughter and he started running after her. And when he was laughed at by these 6 sons of Marichi, Brahma became ashamed of himself. So he actually gave up that body. And
Brahmaji
then
gave up body or
Brahmaji gave up the body.
Okay.
And in the next life, again, he got a next life means he accepted another body. And then
that is at the end of another kalpa. I mean,
not at the end of another kalpa. This is still, because this is in the beginning, very first beginning of creation of the universe. So when when he started creation. It's not at the end of one kalpa, but he gave up that body. Exactly when he accepted Saraswati Devi as his consort, I'm not sure. But in the beginning, she was the daughter, and he ran after her, and because of that, he actually gave up that body. Maybe I can refer to it again in Srimad Bhagavatam, and I can get back.
One more question, Mataji. Why Brahmaji was attracted? What is the why this is due to Maya? I
Maya.
mean, what for? It is some lila or something?
The lesson that we can learn is, however great a person is, I mean, there are many, not Leela, it's not Leela, because Brahmaji, of course, Brahmaji is Guna avatar, he's a Guna avatar, but Lord Shiva was also running after Mohini Murti, right?
That
But
is Lord's lila. That is Lord's lila, isn't it?
Lord's Leela means Lord Vishnu's Leela, you're saying, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, this is a lesson to be taught to us that however great you may be, because see, the thing with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma is a Jiva Tattva, he's a living entity, but he has the potency of the Supreme Lord. So with that potency, so because he carries that potency of the Supreme Lord, therefore he is Guna Avatar. He's a Jiva Atma with the potency of Lord, the Supreme Lord. That is Lord Brahma. So on one hand, he is also absolute truth because he is carrying that potency of the Supreme Lord. But at the same time, he's a living entity, so he's still vulnerable to Maya. He is actually touched by Maya. He cannot create unless he accepts the mode of passion. The mode of passion is Maya, material energy. He's touched by the mode of passion. That's when he's able to create. This is Brahmaji's position. So yes, Brahmaji can also become a victim of Maya. That's one lesson. Lord Shiva, he is actually Ishvara Tattva. He is not a living entity. He is Ishvara Tattva. But in that, he is Ishvara Tattva who is touched by Maya. Whereas Lord Vishnu is Ishvara Tattva who never touches Maya. He touches Maya, that he accepts the mode of ignorance for annihilation, for destruction. So he also is touching the material nature, material mode of ignorance. So that is the position of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. So yes, Lord Brahma can also be victimized by Maya. But if you are always in touch with the Supreme Lord, then Maya cannot touch you. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mamevaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Right? So if you are always, if you are facing the Supreme Lord, taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, Maya has no power. But as a living entity, if you, instead of facing the Supreme Lord, if you turn away, then immediately Maya captures you. That is the position of the living entity. So living entities are always in that predicament. Either they are under the spiritual energy or material energy. If you are taking shelter of the spiritual energy, if you are turning towards the Supreme Lord, then Maya has no power on you. But the moment you turn away from the Supreme Lord, immediately you come under Maya. That's the message.
So in the next birth, Brahmaji married Saraswati Mata.
Yes. So now we have Lord Brahma. So Saraswati Devi is Lord Brahma's Shakti. Just like Lord Shiva Shakti is Parvati Devi, Lord Brahma Shakti is Saraswati Devi, and of course Lord Vishnu's is Lakshmi Devi, like that.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.